So we're now in 2023, which could potentially be the biggest year for Star Wars games in a very long time. I've got some interesting stuff to talk about in this video, including some news on Ubisoft's open world Star Wars game, which we haven't really heard anything about since it was announced 2 years ago. And I'm also going to recap the other games coming out this year and why it could potentially be a big year for Star Wars. And at the end of the video, I want to give you guys a little bit of a channel update as well, the state of the channels right now, my plans moving forward and so on. But there will be some chapter timestamps as always, so if you just want to hear about the channel update, you can jump to that, or if you don't want to hear about it at all, feel free to skip it. But first of all, I do want to thank you all for watching my channel in 2022. During the spring, this channel got some really good views thanks to all the LEGO Star Wars content, and then it kind of died down. But my second channel absolutely blew up with over 40 million views in 2022, thanks to, I guess, short clips working way better for me than long form content, but I'm still gonna do both of them. But more about that at the end of the video. Now let's talk a little bit about the Star Wars games we can expect in 2023. Well, first of all, let's get the obvious out of the way. We obviously have Star Wars Jedi Survivor coming out in March this year, set 5 years after Fallen Order, following Cal Kestis yet again. Now, we already know they've done significant upgrades to the combat system, like having 5 different stances you can use with the lightsaber, on top of all the things we can see that are new in the trailer. So I feel like just with Star Wars Jedi Survivor, we know it's gonna be a fairly solid year. Yes, the problem with single player games is that we're gonna play it in maybe a few weeks or a month, and then we're gonna be done with the game, simply put, since it's not a multiplayer game, or it's not the kind of game that we get more updates to. But nevertheless, I don't think I've ever been as confident in a Star Wars game as I have in this game, considering Respawn seems to do everything they do very well, and the first game was an absolute success. So if they just basically copy what they did in the first game, but with a new story and then improving the things that we wanted to have improved, well, it's gonna be a success. That's for sure. But there's also another Star Wars game that we know is coming out in 2023 that I know there's a lot of mixed opinions on. Star Wars Hunters. If you don't know what Star Wars Hunters is, it's a squad-based arena shooter where players fight in settings inspired by the events between episodes 6 and 7. They have a lot of cool characters, to be honest, with like Wookiee warriors, a dark side force user, a bounty hunter, and an Ognaut inside of like a droideka. So I like the character roster, but the thing that makes me so hesitant to this is that it's basically a mobile game, iOS, Android, but also the Switch. But that's why I'm at least gonna give it a chance. I do like playing on my Switch, but I hate playing on my phone. So once it's actually out, I will definitely give it a go on the Switch. I know it's not gonna be like a Battlefront replacement, and it makes me really sad that they only decided to do this game for mobile platforms. It honestly kind of makes me pissed off, because they had the opportunity to build this game to also work on consoles and PC, just like many other games, whether it's like Fortnite, Apex, or any of those games that work splendidly with a mobile version and a console version. But no, they decided to give us the kind of multiplayer Star Wars game we have all been asking for, but it's mobile only. It's hard not to get pissed off at that decision making, to be completely honest, but I'm still gonna give it a chance on the Switch and see if it's anything worth playing. And as you probably know, this game has been in some type of weird soft launch for almost over a year now, but it's still not out on the Switch or in most regions of the world. So now over to what I was most excited to talk about, Ubisoft's open world Star Wars game. This game was the first game to be announced outside of EA, and it was announced exactly 2 years ago, meaning that they've been working at least 2 years on it, potentially even longer than that. And all we really know is that it's a story-driven, open-world experience within the Star Wars galaxy, and that it's built in Massive Entertainment's Snowdrop engine. But we did get some very interesting teases a couple of days ago, because Julian Garrity, the creative director over at Ubisoft, tweeted out the following, saying, "Happy New Year to you all, 2023 is gonna be huge for us. Join the adventure, #Massive Star Wars." And this is literally the first time anyone at Massive or Ubisoft have said a word about this project since 2 years ago. No interviews, no teases, nothing. And the fact that it says it's going to be huge means that we are at the bare minimum going to get a reveal of this game this year. Probably at Star Wars Celebration, to be honest. But it wouldn't be completely out of the question that it could release late 2023, which would really make this year into a fantastic Star Wars gaming year. We still don't know if it's going to be single player, multiplayer, both. I really hope for a multiplayer game with continuous updates, something to look forward to. But even if it's a really good open world single player Star Wars game, that will obviously make me happy. So with this tease, we know for a fact that this game is not far out, or at least the information about the game is not far out. It's not going to be like Star Wars Eclipse, which seems like it's going to be closer to like 2025 or 2026, and we probably won't see anything from that game in years. This game, however, is way closer, and we will see something this year. But I also saw this article that was a little bit worrying when it comes to the monetization of the Star Wars game. Basically, a new job listing popped up at Massive where they're looking for a monetization specialist who will be working on Division 2 Avatar and the Star Wars project. And you will partner with the project's monetization director to develop monetization strategies aligned with player expectations and the creative and game directions. This kind of blew up with people thinking we're going to have like a pay-to-win game. And first of all, we don't actually know if this affects the Star Wars project, because I think this was kind of a generic copy-paste of all the games they work on at Massive. And even if they do, it could be just like cosmetics. I know that some of the Assassin's Creed games they've done have had some pretty fair monetization options, which doesn't really make the game pay to win or anything like that. And I think they've kind of all learned that you can't make a pay to win Star Wars game. No one wants to make Battlefront 2 2.0, if that makes sense. So it doesn't make me that worried, to be completely honest, that they hired a monetization specialist, as it could even mean something like expansion packs, which I'm all for at this point, seeing how most other monetization methods don't work very well. But yeah, those are all the stuff I had about Ubisoft's game right now. I'm excited that we actually get to talk a little bit about this game again, but I don't think we're gonna have anything substantial until in April and Star Wars Celebration, but at that point I will dig into it as much as I possibly can. But now over to a little channel update. First of all, like I said, thank you all for watching in 2022. It was a very up and down year for the channel. If we're talking about this main channel, I was always really worried that I'd never be able to get any decent views with the name Battlefront updates, because people just think it's Battlefront videos. But I'm glad I was able to prove that wrong during the spring when the Lego Star Wars game came out, as I got some really good views on those videos, like over 100,000 views on some of them, which is actually better than at like the prime of Battlefront 2, which I didn't expect. But then it kind of died down again, and my kind of base videos on Star Wars gaming news, or when I talk about a specific topic, they do get very little views, which is unfortunate and makes it a very unstable thing to still do as a full-time job, because I've done that for like 6 years now. And I said at the beginning of last year that if nothing happens and it doesn't go back up, I am gonna have to, well, look for another job, simply put. And I was fully prepared to do that. But then Lego Star Wars came, it gave my channel a boost again, and specifically my second channel basically saved 2022 with the insane views it got, with like over 40 million views, which was great, because I'm not willing to give up on this yet, and I know the future of Star Wars games is very positive. So that's why I'm hoping 2023 is gonna work for this channel as well, with the Star Wars Jedi Survivor stuff and potentially Ubisoft's open world game. Because now that I know that stuff like Lego Star Wars works on the channel, I'm sure I can make other Star Wars games work as well. But whether or not I'll do this full time moving forward is hard to say. For now, I've got enough saved up that I can do this to at least Star Wars Jedi Survivor and beyond. But it also depends on if I get to keep my two main sponsors, Elgato and G Fuel, who has been so supportive over the years. My contracts with them run out very soon, so I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out. If I lose both of them, then I realistically probably have to find another job, unless my channels really take off with the upcoming games. But I don't want to give up. I'm going to keep doing the long format videos on this channel and the short format clips on the second channel, as those are a little bit more broader and cover all things Star Wars, so it might go really well with the Mandalorian and stuff. At least that's my hope. And I will also continue with the live streams, because those are kind of like, I guess you can call them a passion project, in that they don't really make any money at all, pretty much. I do obviously get the one-off super chat, and I do have a set of very loyal members who do help out. But overall, I don't have nearly as much viewers on my streams as I used to have before, which is why I kind of only do them because I think they're fun, and I really like the connection I get with you guys when I basically get to talk directly to you, which you don't in a video. It's basically I make something, you listen, like TV, kind of. Whereas a live stream, it's a conversation back and forth, and that's why I like doing it so much. I really wish to make live streaming a bigger part of my schedule again, but it simply isn't really financially viable right now, which is why I always focus kind of on the videos and especially the clips, and once I feel like I've got those sorted out for the day or the week, I focus on live streams during the rest of the time, if that makes sense to you. But anyways, if you're still watching this video, I hope you like hearing some of this behind the scenes stuff. I've always tried to be very transparent with everything from working with it full time, behind the scenes stuff, sponsors, and the reality of how it is working with YouTube, simply put. And all of you guys supporting me with whether it's being a member, super chatting, supporting my sponsors, which goes a long way, or using my links to buy something on Amazon, signing up to the Audible trial, all those kind of things kind of trickle into something bigger. So much appreciate if you've done any of that, or if you're just watching, to be honest. That obviously helps a lot as well. But yeah, please let me know in the comments below. Do you want to hear more of these behind the scenes updates? I might do more of them for members at more regular rates, but I thought it was a good time to put this in the video now at the beginning of 2023. And if you have any questions at all, let me know and I'll try to respond to all of your comments in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.
What?